Hi everyone, this is Bob and we have another great story in English. In fact, the stories are going to help us in different ways. The first thing is the knowledge of English language. We are going to improve the grammar as well as vocabularies. There are a lot of important vocabularies and use of words that we must know, but we need some information about variety of matters, important things like sport, social matters, education, about the environment, and a lot more. But how we are going to make them in a perfect way to start, to expand, and make a perfect end? It is only coming from the reading skill. Yes, of course, the things that we are trying to experience it right here in every session. After 25 sessions in grammar, we are going to experience those grammatical points as well as important relative words and idioms with every topic. The topic today is very interesting. Let's get in. Story 5 is based on a winter sport general information. So it is a fact and we do need it in variety of forms. For instance, you are going to talk about a sport. You are going to write about a sport, or maybe in the listening part of any international or national examinations, you are going to listen to some parts of it. Okay, the Iditarod Trail or the Iditarod is a winter sport. It takes place in very cold weather in the nature, of course. So it must be very different from the other sports. A very interesting subject that you can bring it into the answers of a lot of questions about a sport. Let's read the story and then we come back to talk about the details. Every year in early March, dogs pull sleds in a race along the Iditarod Trail. This trail is 1,770 kilometers long. It goes from Anchorage to Nome, Alaska. The people who drive the dog teams are called mushers. A musher is an adventurer. Each musher races along with a team of dogs. Some mushers are women. Susan Butcher is a famous musher. She won the Iditarod race 4 times. Rick Swenson won the race 5 times. Mushers are very brave to go on this adventure. The dogs run across snow and ice, pulling their sleds. Sometimes the mushers ride and sometimes they walk. In 1991, Rick Swenson led his dogs through heavy snow in a bad storm. It was so dark that no one could see. He fell to his knees and got up again. In 1990, Susan Butcher's dog got sick. Then they came to a river where there was water on top of ice. They were very lucky that they didn't fall through the thin ice. No one could live in the icy water below. At night, the mushers sleep in tents. In the morning, they can see footprints of wild animals near the camp. Sometimes they have to shoot at the wild animals to make them go away. The Iditarod race is very long, dangerous, and cold. The mushers spent 11 or 12 days running this race. The temperature can go down to minus 46 degrees Celsius. The dogs and the mushers take care of each other during this adventure. Now, let's go back to the details from the beginning of the story. Well, this is a very interesting sport, I believe, because I love it very much. It happens in the nature. It is really hard and something that you cannot predict what happens next day. It is not like other sports that we know they order that we must do this one and then this one and then that one. If we can do it, we can be the winner. If we cannot, there is no any good mark. Well, but this sport is very, very interesting, very unpredictable. We cannot understand what happens next. Every year in early March is the adverb of time. It comes in the beginning of the sentence, separating with the comma, because we are talking about a special date or the time that something is going to take place. Dogs pull sleds in a race. Okay, pull something, huh? Anything. You know that sled is part of this race. Well, dogs are parts of this race too. Mushers are too. Okay, race along. So pull along is an idiom. They come with each other. Look at this one. This trail is 1,770. In British English, you need to say and connecting the last part of the number, less than 100. But in American English, we do not need to add and. Kilometers, we have S here because it is 1 plus kilometers. Yes, any. Long, it goes from, go from a point, first point, to the second point in a very big region. Yes, this part of that, country of that earth is going to be called something. For instance, Alaska. Okay, but in the Alaska, we have got some small parts. Okay, those are going to come in the beginning, and the main region is going to separate it with a comma here. And of course, we need to add capital letter to the all proper nouns anywhere. The people who derive this who is the subject of the sentence. It is a conjunction too. Yes, it is going to connect the previous sentence to the following sentence. The dog teams, we need a special words. Dog teams are called mushers. So the people who derive the dog teams are called mushers. So we need the words the dog teams, we need the words mushers, we need the word the idea trail. Okay, we need to use pull sleds in a race, not match. Be careful. This is a synonym with match, but we do not use match in this sport because we see it is a written race. Okay, it is a fact about this sport. We must be very careful about all the details. We are going to use the vocabularies as well as grammar at the same time to talk about something. We cannot collect some words talking that we are in B1 or B2 CFR or C1 or C2 only. No, we need to be able to talk, describe, explain things in the right way. For that matter, we need a special words for a special topics, a special, for instance, sports, a special social matters. You're talking about the educational system. You're talking about your job or your home or your habits, your friends, your colleagues. You need to bring a special words, idioms and phrases according to that subject. That is very, very important to follow. A musher is an adventurer. Okay, the story is trying to show that what is a musher look like? What does he look like? What is he look like? He looks like an adventurer. An adventurer is a person who is looking for something exciting, interesting. Some people call it trouble. Yes, it is possible too. Each musher, okay, you're talking about one. So we need S in the verb. Race comes with two different, yes, use of words. This is very important. Do you remember? Our early essential grammar in use lessons, I talked about this. Race is a noun as well as a verb. Here, we use it as a verb. Race alone with a team of dogs. A team of dogs. Look at it, one team, but in the team, we have some dogs. That's why we have S for the dogs. Some mushers are women. Women. Yeah, very interesting. They must be very strong. I like this very much. Susan Butcher is a famous musher. Great. Famous means popular. It's a very nice adjective for people that many people know him or her. She won the Idiot race 4 times. Perfect. Not 1 time or twice, 4 times. Rick Swenson won the race 5 times. Mr. Rick Swenson. Yes, you are great too. 5 times. It's interesting too. Mushers are very brave to go on this adventure. Go on means, well, come and attend. The dogs run across. It is another idiom. Snow and ice pulling their sleds. Sometimes the mushers ride, sometimes they walk. In 1991, do you remember how to read the year? Yes, 2-2. Rick Swenson led his dogs through heavy snow and a bad storm. You can lead some group of people, someone or yourself to something, a good thing or a bad thing, a positive or a negative thing. Okay, led something through something. Be careful. This is very interesting, very, very interesting idiom. Let somebody or something through something or somebody. Okay? It was so dark that no one could see. Well, you cannot see anything because the weather was very, very dark. Do you remember it? We use it for weather. Yes, here we have the weather and it is so dark. So it was so dark that no one could see, means the weather was very, very dark. He fell to his knees. He lost his hope and got up again, but he decided to try again. It's very interesting idiom too. This is perfect. Some people fall to their knees very often in their life, but they never leave their hope. This is very important. This is the hope to the God, in fact. If you have that hope, you're going to make it. You're going to get up again. Get up again and again because you know that God is trying to examine you. Yes, He is going to see how much you're strong. That is very important. In 1990, Susan Butcher's dog got sick. Yeah, get sick. Some people get sick. Animals, poor animals, get sick. We are going to help them. Then they came to a river where there was water on top of ice. Okay, so the water below the ice somehow was freezed. Yes, in the early time. And after that, there was another kind of current water above that. Yes, they were very lucky that they didn't fall through. Sometimes you fall through something. Yeah, it's an idiom too. The thin ice. No one could live in the icy water. Icy water is very nice. It's very, very cold water. So icy is an adjective, of course. Yes, nice, great. We need to use it with a noun. Any forms of noun. Okay? So far, we read a lot of interesting things and saw a lot of beautiful connecting idioms, words, and structures. Mostly simple present and simple past, because we have two different forms of information in this kind of story. We have the rules along with some accident and happenings. At night, the mushers sleep in. You sleep in somewhere. Sleep in tents. In the morning, they can see footprints, or fingerprints of wild animals near the camp. The camp is the place that you stay there. Sometimes they have to. Be careful, this pronunciation sounds f and t. Have to. Shoot at. Shoot at is an idiom. This is a helping verb. Okay? Helping verb. And we have a main verb. And the main verb here, of course, is an idiom. Okay? Nice. At the wild animals to make them go away, not to kill them. No. Well, somehow you're shooting in the sky. Okay, the sounds somehow make them go away. They do not shoot directly. No. They do not shoot directly at them. No. Make them go away. Make something do something. Go away. Change their decisions. I made them change their decisions. You can change it a lot of different ways. The illiterate race is very long, dangerous, and cold. There are three adjectives. Look at this, is very interesting. Why? Because we have a special structure. Very comes for long, comma, dangerous, comma, and then we have and then full stop. For the last, yes, adjective. The first adjective, the second adjective, the last adjective, the third one. The mushers spend 11 or 12 days running this race. They run really. If they want to talk, I think that it goes for 20 days. It is going to be frustrating. Very, very long. The temperature can go down. Go down means reduce. It's a nice idiom. 2. Minus, we read the minus here. Look at it. Minus the number and then the mark here. Minus 46 degrees Celsius. Be careful. If you want to say 40, yes, you're free. But if you want to add something less than 10, you need to put here this. That's a kind of hyphen. The dogs and the mushers take care. Take care of. Yes, take care of is an idiom, perfect idiom. Each other during this adventure. So, we know this sport is an adventure too. Look at it. We see a lot of times this word in this story. It means that we need to talk about this sport, call the name, as well as the word adventure. If you read it, step by step, paragraph by paragraph, you see beautiful, important details that you really need to take care and bring them into use. First, write down some sentences with the idioms. Sentences with words, generally speaking, any word that you do not know. Number 1. Number 2, rewrite the story. Well, rewrite the story. How many times? Well, more than one time, of course. Okay, and number 3, make questions. Yes, make different questions from the story and try to answer. Yeah, make questions and bring lots of different answers. Yes, and bring answers. Okay, just imagine that you are going to be asked some questions in examinations. Do you watch TV? Okay. Question A. Do you watch TV? You watch TV, okay? You just imagine that you watch TV. And when you hear this, you just like to talk about the sport. You can say, yes, I love sport. Why? Because you know this is sport and you want to talk about it. I love sport. Okay? And A is going to ask you again another thing about a sport. What kinds of a sport do you watch? Okay, this is the thing exactly you're looking for to answer it back with the idea that you have. What kind of a sport do you watch? Well, you can talk about this. That's right. Yes, and B starts speaking. Here, you're 100% fluent because you know all the details, because you did these 3 steps, sentences with words. Rewrite the story many times. Okay, well, as many as at least you are 100% sure that you can produce it in different ways, but be careful, do not lose the orders. Okay, the other thing is making questions and bring answers. When you do this, you're going to be ready to answer it in any forms you are interested in, because you really put time for it. And the person, okay, who is, the examiner, the person or anyone who is talking to you understands that you are perfect. You did a lot about the reading, about producing, about imagining, about thinking. Well, the language has got some quality, some quantity. You need to mix these two exactly at the time that you are interested to read a story like this. Okay, for this session, I hope that you enjoyed it, and it is very great to write comments about these kinds of stories for me. I am waiting for them. Till next session. Have a great time. Bye.